Okay. Get my poll question up. Hi, Gotten. How you doing? Oh shoot. How's everybody doing today? Oh, I ain't got no light on. How's everybody doing today? It's Saturday. I need light on. Oh. How's everybody? Wish to reach God? What are you talking about? Who's reaching God? You reaching God right now? Anyway, I don't know about that. Anyway, so it's Saturday. I'm doing my little, oh, I'm doing my little maintenance or whatever. I did something to my eyebrows. I'm not like the girls that go to the eyebrow shop and all that. I did something, trim them up or whatever you want to call it. Then I wash my hair, my real hair. I wash my hair and condition it and all that. Blah blah whatever. Blah blah blah. I did that. Then I put my nails on. These are my nails for the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. These nails last 3 to 4 weeks long. So once you put them on, they on there. Now I gotta put a top coat on real quick. So they stay looking nice or whatever. But this is all I'm doing. I mean, I'm not doing much today. Now my next volunteer at the place I volunteer at, my last thing is next weekend, and then that's it. And then the place closes down, and then I gotta find something else to do for my volunteer stuff. I like to help people. But anyway, let me help some of y'all. I just posted a video because some of y'all kids keep coming to my live stream. I don't know why your children, why the parents ain't watching the children. Watch your children. Hey, what, how you doing? Y'all need to be watching y'all children, okay? Why is your child, searching on YouTube and stuff without your guidance or something? Your child should not be freely up on YouTube just wandering around. This is not the day and time to be doing that. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you could let your kids run loose in the street. You could let kids go outside and play and all that. But the internet is a different game. You cannot let your kids run loose. Thank you, Zoe. You cannot let your kids run loose on the internet. Okay, you can't let them run loose. Why? Because they get into a whole bunch of crazy shit, and you see the things that's going on in the world. You see all the news and all the stuff about what people do to children, horrible things. Why in the world you letting your child loose on the internet? You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. Watch your children. If you tired of watching your child, don't have no more. You know what I mean? Don't have no more. If your tolerance, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the tolerance, stop at one. Stop at one because you don't need no more. If you can't regulate and you can't control your child, ain't no use in having no more than the one. If you wore out, you don't have no more. Because you have to dedicate and sacrifice your time, your energy, your effort to raising the child. The child didn't ask to be here. You brought the child here. You have to raise the child. You have to guide the child. You have to monitor the child until they of age, basically 18, until they on their own. Or they can at least make decisions, you know, between, right and wrong and all that. So you can't be just letting kids loose on the internet. You just cannot do that. It is dangerous out here. You got predators out here. You got people who are sick in the mind, who want to lure your kids and do horrible things to your children. And if you don't want that to happen, then you need to make sure your kids are safe when they online. Does that mean you may now what I did years ago, I put my kids' account under parental control. So, they couldn't just go on the internet and do whatever they wanted to do. I would be notified, what's going on or whatever. So if you need to do that, you have the resources to keep them from doing certain things, especially on their phone. You got the resources to lock up certain apps, lock up certain websites. You have all kind of resources to lock them out of stuff, especially if they grades ain't good and all this kind of stuff. You got the resources to lock them out of all the apps and websites and all that kind of stuff. So use your resources. Stop acting like you don't have no power. Well, I don't have no control over it. Yes, you do. You the parent. You the parent. You the parent. You the parent. Get in the game. Get in the game. Get on your internet provider website and start locking down, putting time limits on the internet. Shut that shit off. Shut it off at a certain time. You got all kind of apps. I use them all. You know what I mean? Especially I had Comcast or Xfinity now. It's called Xfinity now, I guess. I don't know. But Xfinity had a whole thing on the app where you could lock the kids out the internet, knock them off the whole nine. Use all of that, all those tools to your advantage. And if they act a fool with you, act a fool with them. You know what I mean? Don't let your kids run your household. You, the parent, you make the money, okay? You make the money. You provide the housing, the food, the entertainment, whatever. Don't let the kids run you. You, the parent. Stop forgetting you, the parent. And get on here and figure out how to block your kids from getting on these apps and all this other stuff. And don't be saying, oh, kid, it's just, no, 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 no. I don't have time. You got time. You got a couple minutes to get on your phone and start blocking them off these websites and all this stuff. Get busy, okay? Because if somebody else out there, starts talking to your kid, and all that, they can lure them away from the house. And before you know it, they in a situation and they never come back home. You know what I mean? So why in the world would you not go as far as you need to go to protect them and all that? You may have to not allow your child to have a cell phone until a certain age. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a kid that's not doing well in school, who's not a good decision maker and stuff like that. There are some kids that are very smart and very highly intelligent, and they know exactly right from wrong, and they know not to engage in such da 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 da. Those kids, you can give them, as many allowances, or allow them to, a little bit more freedom than the average kid. But for your kids that are bad, act a fool, fight you over their friends, and fight you over this and all, and want to argue and all that stuff, put the clamp down. Put the clamp down. Don't be scared to enforce the rules with the kids. Don't be scared. I had my son on that app for a very long time, and finally when he got of age, older, like 16, he said, "Can you take the permissions off?" When he got 16, he's like, "Can you please take some of the permissions off the phone and all that?" I thought about it, and I said, I let go some of it, but I was still monitoring, his stuff and all that. But I believe in, lock up the apps. The grades ain't right, and they ain't doing well in school. You might as well just lock all the shit up. Lock all of it up. Whatever it is they like, don't let them have it. I don't care if they get mad and upset and all this kind of stuff. Now you got some kids. I've seen some videos. Some kids that be ready to set the house on fire, kill you over a game. You know what I mean? You really got to get them right. I don't know if you got to get them to therapy. I don't know what you got to do. We had different methods when I was growing up. You know, I ain't hear about that stuff when I was growing up, about kids burning up their mama house, or fighting them, or trying to kill the parent and all. I ain't hear about that stuff, because for one, your parents disciplined back in the day. They whooped you. They beat you, whooped you, and all that. So, we come from a different generation. But you can't do all that, of course, today. You can't do all that. But what you can do is put your kids, the kids who are going to be a problem, you got to put them in activities. You got to put them in so many activities that they not going to be a problem, that they learn how to be disciplined, by being in those activities, because you have to uh, uh, in order to reach a goal in some of those activities, you gotta have patience. You gotta pay attention, follow instructions, and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of builds character. So for the kids that are horrible, that are bad, talking back to you and all that, you don't beat them. You ain't gotta beat them and all that. Make them busy. Keep them busy, and probably keep them off the internet. Keep them off the internet. Because sometimes these kids get that built up courage from other kids on the internet. They be on the internet talking about you, talking about, yeah, my mama full of shit. Yeah, every time I wanna go do something, I gotta ask her. Duh, 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 duh. My mama, they be cussing you out online, right? You do know that. They be cussing you out on them little Twitch servers and all that. They be talking about they mama. Really, really, you two. Anyway, back before I was cut off by But anyway, that's what what was I saying? Uh I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, uh oh yeah, your kids be talking about you on them platforms that they be on. Twitch and all them different platforms. They be talking about you to their little friends, their little online friends, talking about, well, I can't wait till I get up out of here. I'm so tired of living with my mama. I'm tired of her giving me chicken nuggets and all that. I'm tired of eating regular food. I'm tired of what she cooking. I'm tired of being here and all this kind of stuff. She always waking me up for school and stuff and trying to tell me do homework. I don't want to do no homework. And they be cussing you out. That your kids cuss you out. Okay? They cuss you out every single day online, especially if they feel like they're being mistreated. They cussing what? Regular food. The kids are cussing the parents out online every single day. So don't think your kids are just letting shit slide after you on told them they can't have this, they can't have that, they can't do this. They are cussing you out on the regular online all the time. That's what they do. That's what they do. Cuss you out and then turn around and ask you to do something for them. Oh, mama, can you do this? Can you do that? I am not ignoring your offer. Your offer is invalid and void. Nobody want that. Ain't nobody talking about that. You coming on here and talking about some stuff I don't care about. You know what I mean? You coming on here talking about something that don't matter. Now I gotta put the little oil. Oh, this brush is. What's wrong with this brush? I don't know what's wrong with this brush, but it's old. You don't want roaches for 2 years? Well, then you don't want the money. You don't want the money. What do you mean, why I lie? What are you talking about? Come on, I'm lying. Lying about what? What am I lying about? Why? I know you lying. I ain't never said that, and we ain't never been together. So now I know you lying. You just talking crazy. You just talking. Yeah, that's my nails. Now that my face is dry, now I can put on my little stuff. Talking about some dookie. I don't know what is wrong with you. Why you keep coming out here talking about that? We don't care about that. We trying to make it to the next day. That's what we trying to do. There's a lot going on in the world right now. A lot going on. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hello, Jeff. How you doing? You eating pizza? Mm. What time is it in Dubai? It must be nighttime. Oh no. But it is nighttime. Yeah, it is 10:19 a.m. here in glorious Indiana. I know people don't like the U.S. right now, but ain't nothing I can do about whatever's going on in the world. I can't personally do anything about it. You know, we not looking too good right now, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, we just gonna party all the way to the end. Cause I think that's what I think. I honestly think people won't um either they don't want to be here no more or something. You live USA before? Oh, that's nice. I think people are just I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I think living on this planet has become overwhelming for a lot of people. Um, and the fact that people just cannot get along with each other is just is very sad. It is very, very sad. Especially when you realize that we can't go nowhere else. What are you talking about? Where you come from? Where's all these farting dookie people coming from? But anyway, it's just really sad that all the people on earth and everybody just can't. You can be different. Everybody has their differences. But the fact that everybody just can't live in their own place peacefully is unreal to me. What is all this fighting all about? What is all this anger and craziness going on? I don't get it. You can't get along with me. Why can't you get along? What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean you can't get along with me? I dropped a mean. We do not care about you taking no dump. Why you keep telling us? You know what, Jeffrey? I think it is. I think what's gonna happen at the end of the day, everybody gonna kill everybody, and the only people that's going to survive is germs, organisms, and probably animals. That's it. I think the only thing that's gonna be left is animals, uh, the animals in the ocean, and that's it. I don't think nobody else is going to survive. I think uh, it's going to be eventually just a total wipeout of humanity, of everybody. Because if you keep going at this rate of hurting people and fighting all the time, what is the end goal? Annihilation of just everybody. So, if the people can't get along, if everybody can't unite and get along, we just all just gonna be gone. So my suggestion is just try to live your life as much as you can. Be with your friends and family, because with all this craziness going on, you don't know when it's your last day. You know what I mean? For years, America has not been really touched by another country doing something or something like that. But we can't escape that either. You know what I mean? We can't escape somebody fighting with us either. So, um, I don't know, but when the ending comes, it's just over. You know. Then we probably, once it's over, there's no more fighting over politics, fighting over religion, fighting over this, fighting over food and all this kind of stuff. It just be over. Because what is the end goal? That's there's no ending. All these years, and all these years we've had all these problems, and for some reason everybody act like these things cannot be resolved. Homelessness cannot be resolved for some reason. People who need food cannot be resolved for some reason. Um, People who need housing and all this stuff can be resolved. They just don't want to fix it. They rather fight each other and make excuses as to why these people can't have this and that and the other. So all these excuses instead of resolving problems is going to be the end of us. It's going to be the end of everybody. Nobody's going to make it. Ain't nobody going to make it at this rate if we don't start thinking how to be better people. If I get 1 million from you living in a coffin for the roaches, I don't know about that. Yes, Jeffrey, it's a sad case, but it is what it is. I don't see no other way to resolve a lot of these issues. I don't see a way. We keep voting for politicians and voting for change and vote for this, and then you get the change, and then you go back to the shit and all that. It just keep going back and forth. The arguing, the fighting, the chaos, the constant, just craziness. It's just insane. This is insanity at this point. This is straight up insane. All the stuff that's going on. And then we are expected to function like nothing's going on, function like normal, go to work, still pick up your kids from school, and still do all the stuff you're supposed to do, and you got people doing horrible shit. If we don't come together and fix all this, we're not gonna make it. If we don't fix it, we're not gonna make it. So, you know, enjoy your days. Enjoy your days and be with your family, be with your friends. Do some of the things that you've never done before. You know, get out there and live as much as you can, because this fighting is never going to end. It's never going to end until everybody's gone. That's it. That's the end game. When everybody's gone, that's the end game. There's no other way to spin it. There's no other way to talk about it. It's just, it is what it is. There's definitely an end game, and it's where none of us are here. Sad, but it's true. You right, Jeffrey. You right. It's about to be some hell. It's about to be some real hell going on. It's very sad. It just for me, I just don't understand. As a young person growing up years ago, at a time where things were starting to improve, and somehow they slid all the way back to hell. How are we getting better and then turn around and demolish all the improvements and create a hell for everybody? How did that even happen? I don't get it. I don't understand. Blame the liberals? No, we can't. We have to blame. The blame has to go all the way around. It ain't just one group of people. It is a system built on built on craziness and pointing fingers. So it's not a one group of people you can blame. It's a system of things that have made it this way. It's not just one group of people. Y'all need to stop with that. It is a system that was created that should have been torn down years ago and redone. You know what I mean? The system should have been torn down once this whole slavery thing was ended or whatever. That system should have been brought down, and everybody should have came to the table. You know, all everybody and redid a whole bunch of stuff to make sure none of this stuff ever happened again, and to make sure everybody has equal opportunity across the board. Everybody. It should have been all redone. And the fact that it was not redone, you know what I mean, is what is causing a lot of this distress and craziness in the world. Cut those nails. I just put these nails on. What do you mean cut them? I just put them on. I'm not cutting no nails. I just put these on. I just put these on. I'm not cutting no nails. What are you talking about? Cut your nails. Why you come here trying to tell me what to do? Don't tell me what to do. Tell yourself what to do. Tell yourself that you don't want no nails on. We need to go back. Go back to what? We don't need to go back. We need to move forward into the future, into understanding that we are all human beings at the end of the day. We all human beings. We all deserve a chance. We all deserve a good life, to live, to breathe good air, to drink clean water, the whole nine. Right. Mm-hmm. So, we need to work on being better people, or we just gonna be, it's gonna be the end. That's it. Either we work to be better, or it's just gonna be over. I don't know. Maybe some people don't want to be around, or they don't want to deal with life. I don't know, but if we don't learn how to get along, we not gonna be here no more. Hello, Bear. How you doing? I don't know what's so hard about being at peace. Why don't people want peace? Why do people want to be better than other people? Why is that? What is that about? What am I doing today? I'm not doing anything. I'm about to go fix me some breakfast and clean up. That's it. I might go to the store, and that's it. In America, that's all we do basically is work, sleep, work, sleep, go to the store, work, sleep, go to the store, work, sleep, do an activity, go to the store. That's all we do in America. We like little robots. Yeah, that's all we do is go to work, go to sleep, wake up, do it again. Then when we get family, work, go to sleep, wake up, take care of the kids, go to work, go home, cook food for the children, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, do the same thing over and over again every day. That's life in America. I don't know who told people everybody was rich over here. That ain't the case. Everybody pay bills, everybody pay taxes. You know, your money left over ain't a lot after you've done all of that. What's my breakfast? My breakfast is going to be now. I went to BJ's grocery store yesterday, which is kind of like a Costco, and they have a bread from the Philippines there, and I got this Filipino bread, and I'm going to eat that with some eggs, some tomatoes, some jalapeno peppers, and that's it. So bread, eggs, tomatoes, and peppers. That's all I'm having for breakfast. You know, I'm a rich white man. What are you talking about? A rich white man wouldn't be on my live stream or wouldn't be sitting here talking to me for no. What are you talking to me for? That's Reddit. Bow the Boxer. Who's Bow the Boxer? Those some greens in that breakfast. I got jalapenos in there. Jalapenos in the breakfast. That's green. Rich people ain't in my chat in my live stream. Whoa, if you rich, I wouldn't be in my live stream for what? You do some rich people stuff. What I don't know what rich people do every day, but what I imagine rich people do is not sitting here on the live stream. I'm pretty sure a rich person's day is waking up whenever time they want to, or hold on. There's a difference. There's a difference between rich people and wealthy people. Rich people still gotta grind every single day. If they let their foot up off the gas, they broke. So rich people have to grind all day long. They still gotta grind. Wealthy people wake up. They wake up like this. Wealthy people wake up like this. They get up whenever time, whatever whatever they feeling like to get up in the morning. They're not in a rush because they already earned all their money because they wealthy. And so wealthy people wake up, uh, they go and eat their breakfast. Either somebody serving them breakfast or something, or it's very rare a wealthy person is cooking their own food because they feel like that's beneath them. So they out of touch with reality already because they don't cook their own food. So wealthy people wake up, they eat something. They may make a phone call about some type of business or something, some rare phone call, or something. And then they just live they day out. They just go and do whatever they want to do. Go golfing, go sit on the yacht, go act like they care about somebody somewhere or something. These are wealthy people. They spend their time moving around their generational money. So that's their job actually is to move around, the money and make sure the money stays where it needs to stay. That's all they do. That's all wealthy people do. And then they get so bored because they don't know how to live regular life anymore. So they get bored and they want to do extreme stuff. But what would really be extreme for these wealthy people is just to go to a grocery store and buy groceries for themselves. That would be an extreme thing. Or going to pick up their kids from the school and not having the butler and the maid and all them do it. That would be an extreme, thing to them for them to do, instead of doing crazy shit, to get their rocks off and stuff like that. So, you know, now rich people have to grind it out every single day. They can't let their foot off the gas because they'll be broke. So rich people spend a lot of time making deals, calling people, trying to make sure trying to make sure the stuff is still cooking on the stove, and they trying to make sure things are still going every minute of the day. They wake up early, still grinding. Wake up at 4 a.m., still grinding, making deals, businesses. They still grinding every single day, talking to people, chit chatting. They don't get no rest really. You don't get no rest as a person with money until you wealthy. When you rich, you don't get an ounce of sleep hardly because you're constantly on the grind. So those people work more than the average person because they got to sit around and figure out how to keep their money going. They got to figure out how to keep their money up, in their pocket. Because a business can fail in a couple days. So, they got to keep their eye on all their little businesses and stuff like that, and, just keep it going. Good morning, Heather. How you doing? Mm, I would say rich, rich is in the millions. In the millions is rich. Wealthy is in the billions. Is in the billions of dollars. Okay, you know, because really, wealthy people look down on millionaires like they poor. Like y'all ain't nothing. To them, y'all poor. You poor. You just a millionaire. That ain't nothing to a wealthy person. They don't want to sit with you. They don't want you to go to the country club. They don't want to golf with you nowhere. They're like, oh God, here comes Gerald again. Yeah, he keep trying to get in with us for some reason. I keep trying to shoot him away like a fly, and he keep flying back up in here trying to talk to us. Wealthy people, they ain't got time for the small change folks. They ain't got time for little millionaires here and there. So my idea of rich is just millionaires, and wealthy is billionaires. That's wealth. Billionaires are not wealthy. Millionaires are just rich. And then rich, you can lose your money anytime with the wrong business move. The wrong deal can make you broke. But that generational wealth money, that's ongoing. You can't really stop that because it's spread. That money so spread across that it's hard to bring that down once it's in play. Once that generational money is in play, that wealthy money, it's hard to break that down. So, one business ain't gonna kill a wealthy person's money. hmm You only worth a few million. hmm Yeah, that's rich. Rich people have to grind every day. Unfortunately, that's what they have to do. They have to work. They have to work really hard. Who is glitching? I am not glitching. What are you talking about? Wealthy is generational. Rich is not necessary. Right, right. There you go, Heather. Right, that's right. That is right. Wealthy people have a limited amount of money, you know, and they want to keep it that way. And that's why they put a lot of positions, a lot of things in play out in the world, and they have certain people in certain positions because they want to ensure that their wealth is carried down generation after generation after generation. They want that wealth to keep rolling, 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 rolling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, being rich is you know, you could almost consider just rich people are just upper middle class. That's it. Rich people are upper middle class. They can go into uh, a dealership or something, buy a car straight up. You know, they don't have to make payments if they don't want to. Sometimes they do payments only because um, for credit purposes or something they're trying to do, or they'll take that car and put it in some type of other situation, so it's kind of like a write-off and all that kind of stuff. That's what rich people do. Rich people don't sit there and try and negotiate with no car dealer and all this kind of shit. Either they buying the car straight out, or they taking that car and wrapping it up in some type of tax loophole and writing it off. That's what they do. So, um, there you go, boy. So, uh,